Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. This is tutorial series number 15 here in Maharlikans code. Okay, so we will continue our Golang WASM guys. So Golang WebAssembly, and then right now we need to do some actual HTTP post request because we need to communicate with our API back to our web server guys. So right now we need to connect using our WebAssembly. For example, we have a login API from our previous discussion that we have this Ajax post, but our API link is there totally exposed from the browser side. So right now we will use that using this WebAssembly, but of course it's not exposed to the JavaScript side there guys, so we don't see the actual URL, but instead we need to use this HTTP.NewRequest with of course with the post method. You can also use get, but right now we are using the post because we're actually post and then validating our username and our password, of course, and then all those inputs from the user's HTML page there. So right now we will do that guys. So let's dive into this tutorial. Welcome back to the channel. Okay, right now guys, we are left with this from our previous discussion. So we are totally validating all these inputs, and then we will fire up the Swal there, Swal.fire, and then we are all validating from our backend side the Golang script with all those inputs from the user, of course, all the logics. Bring over to this Golang script instead of exposing there directly. Of course, when the what they call this unattended users try to make some fun with our site, of course, they cannot see the exact logics, everything like that, guys. So right now we are all setting up all the validations behind the what they call this WASM here. So all the scripts will be here guys. So we will continue this right now as we are moving part. These are all some validations, and also we have tested in our HTTPS server there in our production site. So that means all the WASM validations all are in place and all totally working guys from our local web development, of course, and then uploaded to the HTTPS, our secured web server there. So that one is we have fully tested. You can take a look on our previous discussion guys prior to this video. Okay, so right now we need to, of course, we need to communicate with our APIs guys. So we have some login validation. Of course, that one is we don't involve in the database, but the concepts, the logics, the communication between this Golang WASM totally expose this function exposed from our login page there, which we have done in our previous discussion guys. So by doing this login here, of course, we need to pass on all this data there. Okay, so we will capture this data, and then we will also validate guys. So okay, so we will validate on our authentication here, which is from this API here, the auth go. Of course, this is our normal login user endpoint, which is having this HTTP response and then HTTP request. There is no change at all from our API. Okay, so from our API and then to our what they call this WASM guys. So I will just delete this because we need to remove later guys. We need to replace with a new one. So this is what I'm talking here guys. From this main what they call this login, this is the expose Golang function to the JavaScript side. So this is what we are talking here. We are passing this with the username and then the password object. That means this is the input box guys, the text box or whatever you are calling this. Okay, so username, password, and then of course our These are all the things. So we just pass on to at the moment. So okay, so we will test this, pass on with these two inputs. Maybe later this one we will pass on as well, guys. This what do you call this, remember me, something like that, guys. The checkbox there. So right now we just focus on these two first. Okay, so and then here all the validation all passed, but right now we need to request, and you need to send a HTTP post request, because there is no other way that you cannot that you can communicate directly here, guys. So because this one is treat this file, this main.go WASM file, each WASM file is not totally or fully what do you call this, that can communicate directly with our backend server, whether you're using this HTTP like this, the normal one, the normal function, like this HTTP request and then the HTTP response, all these things, guys. These are totally you're gonna use from the what they call from the WASM file here. You cannot directly create a new function calling the same thing with this, because these are not allowed in the WASM there, because these are all some kind of hybrid implementation by the WebAssembly, guys. So combination, but it's not fully it's not fully functional like as our paranormal web server, or a fully functional server there, or can access most of the functions. These are all it's not a fully equipped, because we need to expose this. So I'm not so sure as of this recording we cannot totally access everything like that, guys. So by doing this, we will submit HTTP post request instead of the JavaScript there, like those AJAX posts. Remember that in our previous discussions that we are using the AJAX post calling this certain API, this API that what I'm talking about, guys. This API that we have done this, like the API version 1 user login, these are all calling this function directly, guys. So as per normal, we will use this in a WASM side, but we cannot create like this directly, guys. Remember that one, okay? So that we will avoid scratching our head. Okay, so I already tested, and that one is not totally not working, guys. So we will expose this, because this one is totally independent. Shall I say it's an independent file, guys? It's like a JavaScript as well, but it's a Go script, okay, that we brought to the client browser side, or client browser side, guys. So this one is it's like a JavaScript, but it's a hybrid, guys. They call it they are gluing, like I'm not sure why they are gluing together, but this WASM file is totally not fully functional, that you can call as the normal way of calling this like this main.wasm here, our web server here, that you can set up your network or everything, guys. So that one is totally off there, so it's offline. So you cannot call directly like that what we have done here, like we are calling the HTTP server, all these things. There you need to call our web server inside this WASM here. Please remember that one, guys. Again, you need to call using the HTTP post request or get request every time you request from our backend server, okay? So don't confuse yourself about this Golang WASM as a WebAssembly, because these are totally, you treat this as a hybrid JavaScript, guys, okay? But actually this is using the Golang script here. It's not totally fully functional Java. This Go file or Go program that as per normal that we are calling. Okay, so but right now we need to call this API. Okay, instead of copying this file and migrating to this WASM main Go file here, you cannot do that. Okay, instead we will call Same with the JavaScript, the post request, we will call instead of using the JavaScript, we will call here instead, guys. So we will continue with our coding here. So as usual, we have CSRF token. I highly recommend that you still passing on the the CSRF from our header, guys, because remember in our web server here, okay, so we enable all these restrictions here, like this course, like CSRF, guys. All these things are still in place and intact. It's no worries. You don't have changes. You don't need to change here. Okay, when you use the WebAssembly, as per normal, you can run all these things. Okay, your server IP, your port here. These are all the things. But right now, we will call this API here, which is this API, this post methods here. Okay, from our this function. These are all no changes. We just do some simple validation. I just want to print the username here when we request from our WASM file. Okay, so when we do the HTTP request, we will try to print whatever the value here, guys. So I just put something like the API here, and then I will just explain to you a bit. Of course, the header is a JSON file, guys. No changes. Okay, so no changes as well. Then we get all those payload from our WASM file. Okay, so we will capture all those payload that we will throw to this API, and then of course we have some validation from our API as per normal here. Why we having this? Because we need to protect again ourselves, guys. Okay, we need to do some protection. Okay, so although when you accidentally expose your API here, your API link, for example, this one you accidentally expose, or from the transition of those AJAX posts, of course these links, this API URL is there exposed previously, but when you don't change or something, but of course it's better to have some duplicate validation here, guys. These validations are for example, this login is you can only use this. These are all generic kind of thing, guys. Okay, this is the generic one. You can reuse this login or API here at any occasion, like not only from the WASM file, but also you can use this from any other devices or any other, like your mobile app or something, guys. So you will also need this, of course. That's why all the logics here, these are all for the API side. Okay, these are, don't confuse, these are all the API validation here. Well, what we're going to do is, this one is for we're invoking this API here. Okay, then we will do that, and then of course we also have some validation here. Okay, because we know that our API require all this username, password, and all kinds of validation, guys. So you also validate here, of course, guys. But also you can do that as well. You can eliminate this. Okay, but this one you need to access the return thing. So this time we will retain as usual, guys, all the validation that we place here. But of course, in our future discussion, we can remove this actually, guys. Okay, but we will try first to call this API, because this API we will have some validation as well here. You see, username is required, all this same thing, guys. In our previous discussion, this one is our sample only to validate our inputs there. But right now, the method is changed. We are now calling the API instead of directly validating here as well. So you can always do that here as well, all your logics before you're passing your API. Okay, so these are all the things here. But the thing is, we need to, our goal for this tutorial is we need to invoke this on how we can get the whatever the return here. We will invoke, of course, with the CSRF header. Okay guys, so we will do that now. And then remember also that these are all small letters previously. The small a here, small I here is for the s access. These are all my our custom returns, okay, from our API. Of course, it will be in a JSON format. But as you can see, when we don't know that the API will return like if this one is a small letter. Remember that we have our exportable function, exportable variable or function or whatever, guys. Remember that when you use the WASM file, ensure that all your JSON file will be all your JSON format, like this field here, and then this field, the alert title, alert message, all these things, guys. The first letter should be exportable, guys. The first letter is a capital letter, okay? Don't put a small letter, because the small letter you cannot detect here. When you respond, we cannot detect the what they call the value of this. For example, you want to get this success value, whether it's false or true. If the first letter is a small letter, you cannot capture this field, guys, from the JSON return. Only those capital started with the capital letter, that means it's a exportable value, guys. So okay, please remember that one. Okay, so we will do that now. We will do some request. Of course, the one our server is it has a what they call the CSRF, guys. So we'll do the same. We will call this jsDoc here, and then call get element by ID. Okay, as usual, guys, we need to get the CSRF token. Okay, so we will validate, guys, first. Hold on. The Truthy, same thing. Okay, then we return with the js.Global. Okay, .Call. We were calling the eval, guys. Okay, I just want to copy this. I don't want to keep repeating ourselves. Okay, Swal. Then we will file the Swal here. Swal. Okay, hold on, guys. Oops. Unable to get the CSRF token. Okay, so this one, what I'm talking, guys, is this token here. In our previous discussion, remember that I'm adding this one, guys. Okay, you need to put some in your template there, the footer there. This one you can place this from your common footer or whatever, that every time you will call this. Okay, this CSRF token here, guys. So these are all the random one. In our previous discussion, we have this, so you can take a look on that, guys. So this is our ID, but remember, this is a hidden input, guys. So these are all the validation for our CSRF token. So we will capture everything from the value here, and then we will call from this one, guys. So okay, this one I will close. So we will capture this CSRF token here. The name is the same. Okay, so we will capture also Same thing with our input, like the username, the password here. But also the good thing is we will capturing this CSRF token in a hidden input box there. So we will continue, guys. So p CSRF token, then string, then we will call this CSRF token dot get, and then the value. Okay, the value then convert to string. Okay, everything in the JSON, guys, is a string. Okay, so remember that. So we need to capture also our payload here, guys. So these are all the things. String, and then interface. Always use interface, guys, because interface they will is all variable one, guys. So it's a dynamic parameters. We can capture arguments or whatever, guys. So username, hold on for a while, and then password, and then p password also. So we will capture all these, guys. So no worries. Keep me. Okay, then p is site, keep me. Okay, but this one I never enable, so I enable first. Okay, so right now we have this, the payload there. So just put a note here, guys, for you to ponder later on. JSON post payload to the API endpoint. Okay, so we just have that nice notes there. Okay, so we will continue on. Bytes representation here as usual, guys. Oops, representation. This one is my variable only, guys, so you can just make it representation. Okay, and then the error here, JSON. Then we need to do the marshalling one, and then payload. Oops. Okay, if error not equal to nil, then we will return again with the JSON.Global, guys. Okay, guys, so to capture the time, I fill up everything this one for you, guys. So later I will just share this code for you. Okay, so I will just expand this for a while. Okay, so it will be very clear here. Okay, so this is our CSRF here, guys. Okay, we need to capture as per normal. This is all the input validation there. Okay, actually this is the hidden file from our what they call this footer here. From here, guys, in our footer underscore front. Okay, the input is the hidden here. Okay, so we need to capture from our as usual, guys, this one. And then after this is the CSRF. We need to convert this as a string. Always we will convert to string, guys. Okay, from our previous discussion also here, we all convert into a string, or we will convert as a boolean or something, guys, in before we can use this variable, because everything from the JavaScript there, we will throw everything as a, these are all treated as a string, guys. So and when we reach to our Golang WASM here, the WebAssembly, of course, or any Golang here, we will always convert that to the proper types of this what do you call, like this string or the types, guys. Okay, then our okay, so this is our payload, guys, from our previous one. So this is also is a map, then it's a map, but the key is string and then the interface. Okay, so this is our bytes representation. Now we just convert this into marshal one marshal. So we need to marshal this map string here. This is the map string. When we pass on with our API here, we need to translate this into marshal first with the JSON encoding, guys. So these are all in JSON encoding JSON package from Golang. So we need to throw some validation here from the error here, guys. Any marshalling here, then we will throw back to the user there, something like but don't expose some to any valuable information or the direct error, guys, because we don't want that. We just want to throw the friendly error to the user, not the real one, guys. Okay, don't throw this error here. Okay, and then this is the key here, guys. This is our HTTP request now. Remember that we have this from our Ajax post previously. We all have this link. Right now we need to put here in our WASM as well with the full link, guys. Don't put like this one we don't have. Don't put like this. Okay, we need to have the full address in your HTTPS here or in our production site later. This is just for our testing, guys. Okay, we need to prove that from the Golang WebAssembly we can communicate directly from our API as well. Okay, so we need to use the post here, new request. Of course later you can we will enhance this with our some logic here, like if this request remember that must change this HTTPS here when you launch to your production site. Otherwise you cannot communicate. Okay, even though you have in the same computer, same machine, but you need to fully put this full address for your API, of course. Okay, guys. So again, this is our client here. We need to initialize with an empty HTTP client. Okay, because we do not know yet. Later we will pass on all those request header and then our payload here. Okay, so we will use the existing net package here in Golang from net HTTP package. So we will have this new request. Okay, and then the method is post, or you can also for other purposes you can use get or something, guys, or put or something like any kind of a method there. But remember that you need to call this user login API here from our remember that from our routers here. Okay, so this is the link. Don't bother without the HTTPS here, guys. Okay, for those new users, okay, don't bother, don't put the like HTTPS here and then not match from this side. Okay, this one is totally different one. Okay, guys, this one is we are calling with the HTTP request. Okay, the HTTP request always have a full address. Okay, here is the method also is post. Remember, don't use get and then it's not matched with your thing here. Of course it will not it will throw an error, guys. Okay, so when you are using the post method here, of course you're calling this login API. Of course the method that we assign here is actually is a post as well, so please remember that. And then our bytes representation here from the after it marshaled by the JSON here, already translated as a byte. So in our HTTP request, these new bytes, that new buffer requires a byte. That's why you need to translate this first. We need to marshal it with the JSON.Marshal. Okay, so and then we will feed this new buffer here. Okay, guys, with this request. Now we already capture this one with the data. Of course, guys, these are all our payload here. Okay, because our payload is we already JSON.Marshal and then store into this byte representation. This actually is a byte data now, and then we will embed that in our post request. Okay, instead of that input box there, the user, the password, like that. Right now our value is already translated into this username and then the password, because our login API here, guys, we are using this username, password, and then you need to match also, guys, username, the spelling, of course, and then the case sensitive. You need to match everything, guys. Okay, please remember this. This is our field here, and then we will from our API, our standard HTTP request, we also capture here the key val, the username, and then the password, exact, case sensitive, the spelling as well. Okay, so right now we need to pass this because we already need these three values that we need to pass on as well. Okay, so our header, you can set many headers here, guys. Request that header and then the set. Of course, we need to match also with our application JSON. Okay, application JSON header, the content type here, and then our, as you can see, our CSRF token here. This is the exact spelling, and then all caps lock, all capital letters, and then we need to feed feed our value here from this CSRF hidden field, guys. Okay, these are all hidden field from our this one. Okay, this is our ID here for this hidden input box. So we will continue on. Of course, this is our header here. We already have the header. Okay, so if something error here happen, then we will throw like a friendly error, guys. Okay, don't expose any kind of errors like from the server side or the API or something. But if your API is returning a friendly error also, then it's no problem. You can directly put that error here, this error value here. You can also do that, but you need to be very careful, extra careful, guys, because anything that you expose here, especially when you have some database or field name or expose there, don't expose that. And then any table name or something like that, guys. So in our API here, we also validating the username, the password here, guys. So these are all friendly error here also, so we don't expose. Right now we don't have database yet. We just want to communicate with the simple API here without the database yet. But the concept is totally okay, really, guys. When our API return something with this value here as well. Remember, I changed this alert title and put some BK here, like a backend, something like that, guys. Our own validation here is of course just a standard one without the BK. Okay, so also we will right now we are here, and then of course we need to capture our this is the custom API return, guys. Okay, our API return here, we always have this payload, something like this is success, whether the value is true or false. Okay, so either true or false, or true here because you already pass all some assuming you all pass all the validation, then the user can log in. So we have this. Okay, this is our standard payload here from our login API. So we will continue here. So right now I set default to false, guys. This is our localized variable here. Okay, as you can see, this block of code, these are all Go routines, guys, and then the channels there. The first thing, this code block of code is we need to put some channel, guys. Okay, and then Go routines. Because this one is like in a JavaScript, this is like sync await, something like when you request from your API there, we need to wait for the return, any values that return from our API, because we already invoked the API here from our header part. This is the new HTTP request. but the return, the response, we do not know whether your server is taking too long or busy or something like your API is processing a lot here or something like that, guys. Or the validation processing logics there. We need to wait for the response of this function here, this API here, guys. So we need to return, we need to wait. These are all blocking here, guys. It will not proceed to come onto this other part unless we will, yes, you can see in our previous discussion from the basics of Golang there, we have to pass on these channels, and then to this C1. This is a channel here, but the channel is a MapString interface. Okay, you need to match everything, guys, because we are all using a MapString API here. Okay, these are all channel is a MapString type, but we are using a buffer channel, at least one value here. Okay, guys, these are good enough already, guys. So the value, the buffer channel is equal to 1. Okay, so this one, and then after this we need to use the go routines here, and then we will store all the value result to we will just differentiate with the other result here, guys, because this is the first return from our JSON here, okay, from the API, because we need to wait the client do, instead of putting this block of code to this side, to this part, this one will throw you an error, guys. If you want to try that, this will throw you an error because it will the script itself, the Golang is reading from top to the bottom, but actually the return is not yet come. So of course we don't do that, guys. So okay, so it will not pass on our WebAssembly will be throwing you an error like the go routine exceeded something. Okay, so to avoid that, of course we need to use these go routines here, and then we will store to the channel. Okay, guys, the value of this result to, because we need to, after this client do, this is the final invoking, guys, for the HTTP request on top here. This is to invoke already, guys, the request. We will this one is trying to execute the HTTP that we are HTTP.NewRequest here to the specified site host, or this one is your API link. So okay, so now they're trying to convert, and then of course don't forget this defer here. Okay, guys, to close the request if it is done. Okay, and then this one is the new JSON encoder. This is the standard code, guys, and then after that of course the return come already. It will not come to this part yet unless it will receive the response from our API. Okay, so these are all the things, and then after this we need to decode the decoder here, guys. Okay, so we need to return it with the this result to. We will store this from this result to whatever the return from this channel. Okay, so we store, remember that we store from the C1 channel here first. Okay, guys, so we already decoded that. After this we need to create a new one, guys, just to ensure that this will not replace something, guys. So this one is a fresh copy here. Okay, but of course you can enhance that one, guys. Okay, this one you need to create another go routine here with the interface result, because our JSON API always return with the this client do will always return with this HTTP response will return an interface value here. So whatever it will return, so we need to match also this our go routines here, guys. So okay, so everything is an interface kind of a thing here. because our result here is all interface as well, so we need to store it using the same type. Okay, otherwise it will throw you an error. Okay, so we need to continue. Again, we need to create a new channel here, just to ensure only, guys, this one is a blocking one. So we need to select with the go routines here. So this one is what do you call this, timeout here. So we need to put some kind of at least 1 second timeout, guys, because we need to capture all those information, or millisecond, it's up to you guys, but 1 second is enough. So we need to check at least a timeout for this channel here, guys. Okay, so it will not pass on directly here. Okay, after this we will use the select method here, the select statement, okay, for this channel. So we need to find the result, guys, after the C1 here. Remember that we captured the C1, so the C1 now returns something with the result2 value, guys, from this JSON decode. So already decoded, and then the value stored into the C1 channel, which is the type is having this MapString interface, guys. So all match with our result here as well. Okay, so we need to store this into the C1, and then with our new result MapString here, guys, with an empty one, of course. And then this is our standard capturing, guys. So as you can see, I already captured this value is success from our API here, guys. Remember that we always have this is success, whether false or true. Okay, so in the final statement here is true, guys, of course, pass all the validation. So I already captured this specific result. You can also capture a specific result by using this script, guys. Okay, so now I translate this into parse bool as a boolean value already, guys. So remember that the JSON always return with the string, guys. Okay, whether you post or you get, these are all string representation. So you need to always convert that, because Go is a statically typed programming language. So right now I translated into official what do you call this, a boolean. So right now I need to check if it is false, then log in something like unsuccessful, the message here, guys. So I just want to put some string here. Okay, and then if it is true, else, then it's a login successful. Okay, guys, so the logic is here ready, because we already have to we already captured the result from this go routine here. It already returned and store into the channel. Okay, remember that the channel is a send and receive, guys. Okay, send and receive. This one we already send the thing, and then we also receive here, guys. So we already stored into this map string here. This channel already contain whatever the result from this API invocation, guys. Okay, so right now we use this C1 here, and then store back to our result, a new result variable here, but of course the same map string interface. Okay, so we already return here from the select statement. Okay, then we need to return something, guys. So I just create some small function here just to invoke our Swal. Okay, this one we cannot return directly, because this one is a fully Golang script, guys. Remember that our Go routines here. Okay, so we need to check our Go routines and all these things, and then okay, so the Swal login file here, the successful here, these are all the string only, guys. Okay, no worries. And then after that we need to create some I already created the small function here, which is this code. Okay, so we need to pass on this API response with the boolean, of course the message is string, and then we return. Then we can create this JSON global. We need to call those we need to call the WASM style already, guys. So here you cannot invoke directly with the return. You cannot use this return directly inside this go routine here. No, you cannot. Okay, please. That's why we need to create a new function to invoke the standard glowing of those WASM and Golang WebAssembly. Okay guys, so now you can differentiate really which code is can invoke with certain go routines can guys in Golang WebAssembly. Okay, as you can see, we are using a go routines here. Go routines is allowed, and then channels also is allowed in a Golang WASM. But of course, you cannot mix together with this js.Global here, calling directly from the inside the select statement or inside the go routine or something like that. You cannot use that. So that's why you need to return it with this function, of course. And then if success there, then you will just pass on with the message there. We already define here, guys. Okay. So these are all the things, and then we use the timeout, the standard timeout here. Then we don't throw any message there, guys. So okay, it will just silently time out. No worries. And then after this, we need to, I think this one, I think I never use this, so we never use this, guys. So I'll just close. I never use this. Okay. So these are all the things, guys. So we need to try now our see if it really works, guys. So as you can see, we need to try to build now, guys. Okay, so in our previous discussion, guys, we have having some problem, right? That we manually copy paste everything, guys. So right now in this syntax, the link in the full syntax will be in the description below, guys, in this video. So the go build and then minus or the dash small letter O, and then instead of in the Windows side, guys, you need to do this by the double quote. Okay, you need to double quote first, and then with the full path of our, we need to throw to the other side, guys. So we need to throw to this our, you remember we need to throw to our static JS here. So we need to access this JS here, and then the auth. So we don't have this here. We need to throw directly whatever the exported WASM. Okay, so in the Linux base also, the link description will the exact syntax will be, the example syntax will be there, guys, in the description below. So you just follow. Okay, so we don't have here, so we need to throw directly here, guys. So once we build this, we will try to build. I think I already press enter. I think no. Okay, so now we need again we have this error, guys. If you encounter this imports like the syscall/js, remember that when every time there is you need to set the goose, guys. Okay, when you boot up your computer again, then you will you need to set this variable, or this environment variable from the Golang itself. So you need to do this goose equal to JS. And in Windows, guys, you need to do this separately. Okay, you cannot continuously do that unless you are using the Linux or the Ubuntu there. Okay, then go args is equal to WASM. Now we can do that again. We need to try. Okay, now it's no problem, guys. So we need to check the file. Okay, the file is here already, directly throwing this into our Windows directory, guys. What we can do, we need to run and test our web server now. We need to run our web server. Okay, now it's running. We need to check our need to expand a little bit, because we need to see whatever the return here, guys, whether the success is true or not. So we will run our thing. You need to inspect element. Okay, so the thing is here. You need to refresh one more time. We will do the same, exactly the same. Username, need to check first. Okay, so we'll try admin, and then this one we disregard, guys. Okay, we'll try. Now is login is successful. Okay, so we need to check from our side here. Okay, actually it's calling from our API already, guys. As you can see, that the username API admin. Okay, we need to check here. This is our API, guys. Remember, this is our WASM. Okay, so we need to check this print line here. I think it's here. Okay, this is the print API, guys. So the username API, and then we'll pass on with the username here. The username is admin. So because we key in admin here. Okay. So these are all the things, guys. So now is our API communication using this Golang WebAssembly is totally working, guys. So as you can see, when we try again, change with the admin one, let's see, login successful already, guys. So okay, so now is the admin one instead of the admin only. So now admin one already, guys. Yeah, now it's totally working, guys. So these are all the things when we call the API here, guys. So this code will be available in the description below, guys, so you can just copy over. Okay, so these are all the new changes. You remember, must do this kind of coding, guys, otherwise you cannot you need to wait for the response, and then you can proceed from the rest of the scripts here. Okay, guys, so we need to capture this, all the validation, all the logics again here, and need to do your coding here, this part, because we already received this data from the JSON here. This channel we already stored to this result. So then this result we can do the data massage here already, guys. So we can do everything we wanted to do here, and then we are setting everything when you are all the logics that you want. Okay, so these are all the things, guys. I hope you enjoy our tutorial here in Maharlikans code. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching my video, and I hope you learn a lot here in Maharlikans code. And I hope I impart with you some good knowledge, and then we explore together this Golang WebAssembly, and then whatever I have studied and whatever I have explored and tested, then I will share it with you guys here in Maharlikans code. So I hope I give you some good information, and then I try to explain to you all these things. And then if you are just new to my channel, you can please kindly subscribe to my channel, guys, so that in this way you can support whatever I have here, and then I share my knowledge here, guys. Then I gain all this knowledge, and then I just share it with you all here in Maharlikans code. And in our next video, guys, we will try to test this into our HTTPS server, guys. So we will test this again, so that after this we can proceed with our other development here in web development here in Maharlikans code. So we will proceed with the installation of this MySQL. Then we will do some storing of the data from our MySQL. Then we will do some user sign up, user login. Then we will interact with our database already, guys. So stay tuned for that. Then we will try to create a simple or generic package. Then we can share it with you guys. Then you can reuse this generic kind of users login. So meaning that you can log in, sign up, password is set by using this small package that we are working on, guys. So we can reuse this, and then for your projects, then it's easy for us when we have a new project or in our existing project or whatever, guys. We can reuse this when we publish this on GitHub. This package that I'm trying to create here in Maharlikans code for this complete login system. And then we will go to the dashboard there. then you can just feed all this information, and then you can reuse this package for your own projects. Just subscribe to my channel, guys, so we can have all this information, and then we will just do some sharing here, because from other tutorials there you need to pay something, guys, but this one I never receive anything, so I just receive 0 here. So nothing. I just share my knowledge, guys. So okay, so we just try, and then we help each other, and then we support each other here in Maharlikans code. So we will do some advanced topic later on. We will do some we will create after we successfully log into our dashboard there, we will create some real-time notification, probably some chat application, or create some simple wall application or something like that, guys. So we can do, and then we just illustrate here in Maharlikans code, because we have some domain name with our maharlikanscode.com. After we log in there, then we can explore together. You can play around, you can log into the system there, and then you can submit some information or chat or whatever you can do, okay, in our future projects here in Maharlikans code. So stay tuned for that, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and may God bless us all. Thank you, and bye.